Morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here, be back in the the war room, our WCN headquarters here. It's absolutely just great to be back. I'm feeling a little bit more myself after kind of sleeping off a little bit of the jet lag yesterday from being gone for 3 weeks in Europe. But usually, basically, it's about 6 hours difference between here in Austin, Texas, and there in London. In Spain, Paris, Italy, it was 7 hours ahead. So coming back across the ocean is not so bad. I felt for a lot of our crew members and the staff, actually, of the cruise ship, because they had just had a transatlantic cruise. So they were losing an hour every day, basically, as they were moving across the board. But anyway, I'm here. I'm excited to be with you guys here today. Got some great stuff to talk about this morning here on the Note Closer Show podcast. Whenever you're gone for a couple of weeks, you always got a lot of stuff to take care of once you get back and get rocking and rolling. You know what I mean, everybody? So, yes, yesterday was somebody made a comment. I think Terry Cook made a comment like, I didn't want to sleep off a day of jet lag. No, I wanted to get in the office and kind of tackle some of the things that I kind of slipped a little bit the last 3 weeks. You know, some of the stuff, just emails alone is worth knocking out a big chunk of it. But wanted to get back, knock that stuff out, especially being Thursday today in the office. Just getting, a better wrap of some of the things that, we didn't work on for 3 weeks while we're gone. So, asset updates, talking with our servicer, talking with our Singer Law Group on our special servicing and stuff like that. So definitely a great thing today to talk about. But today's topic is one that I think everybody has. And I want you to think for a second here. All right. And today I want you to blame me. All right. We all have different types of success, good stuff, bad stuff. But you know what? Blame me for your lack of success. Go ahead and blame me for you not taking the action, for you not making the offers, for you not doing the marketing. Just go ahead and blame me. It's all right. You're looking for somebody to blame for not having success in this real estate. You're looking for somebody to bitch and moan about that, I can't do it because I'm not Scott Carson, or I'm not Scott Carson, so I can't do videos, or I can't write an email because I'm not Scott Carson. I don't give a shit, okay? I really don't give a rat's ass about it. But you know what? Go ahead and blame me. If that makes you feel better and you want to blame somebody for your lack of success or lack of action, go ahead and blame me. Blame me, all right? If you're watching this live on Facebook, you're seeing the blame me jump off. You're watching on Instagram, which we just started doing our live streams to our Note Closer Show Instagram page for our podcast. We're excited to have that as well. So another way for you to join in and watch us on a regular basis or listening to it besides just listening on iTunes or Stitcher for those that are out there doing that. But literally, you can't have success without failure. Literally, I'm not joking about this. I walked literally just a minute ago before we went live, got me a fresh cup of coffee in my nice University of Texas Longhorns. Go Longhorns. They made it to the Omaha for the College World Series. Excited about that. Set a record for the most appearances in the College World Series there in Omaha. One day I'll make it out there to Rosenblatt Stadium and watch the full thing. It's a gold mine. But what I'm trying to get at, I'm sitting there getting my cup of coffee from here in the office, and on the TV screen, they're quoting some really professional, British investor, and it says you can't have success without failure. You can't have success without failure in any type of investing. And what's great about that is I'm a big believer in that. I have been celebrating kind of actually, it is very much so. I'm celebrating roughly 13 years. Wow, it's hard to believe that. Yeah, 13 years in the note industry this month. It's a work anniversary, basically, of getting started, of buying my first note, or actually leaving the banking industry to join my coaches and mentors at the time, Bob Leonetti and Jayme Kahla from SMI Funding back 14 years ago, actually, because I started We Close Notes after that. But the thing you have to realize is in this last 13 years, all our work builds up to where we're at today. And if you're in a position today that you're not having the type of success that you want to be, you're not in the position or the place that you want to be, you have two choices. Well, it comes down to two choices. You can either just continue along that same path of settling or staying in your comfort zone, all right? Or you can do something and take action and do something about it. Now, I guarantee you're not going to have success immediately. If you do, great. That's awesome. Congratulations to you. But you're going to have failures along the way. God knows I've had tons of failures, all right? I fail on a daily basis, on a regular basis. But the thing I do more than anything else is I embrace that failure. I embrace, hey, let's give this a shot. This doesn't work, we'll pivot and go from there. And that's one of the most important. That's what today's topic is all about, more so than anything else. Yes, you can blame me. You can blame me for your lack of success. But I guarantee there's a lot of investors also that will blame me out there for their success as well, because we've pushed them through. We've continued to deliver stuff on a regular basis, driving them forward on how to take advantage of what's going on in the market these days. And let's see here what we got here. Gail Villanueva, good morning, Gail. Says you can get discouraged many times, but you're not a failure until you begin to blame somebody else and stop trying. That's a really, really great quote. Love that from John Burroughs. Thanks for sharing that, Gail Villanueva. Another thing I think about today, because today, I got back yesterday here in the office. Get started today. I'm back with my trainer. I'm back with Thomas Nee from Teammate Fitness. I'm excited that I missed the guy for 3 weeks. Change a few text messages. Miss you, man. I miss my daily kind of workout. And I look back to where I've been training with him for over, I guess, about 3 years now. A lot of difference. A lot of changes have taken place. Hey, I'm a big guy. I got a 20-inch neck. All right. Some days I look at pictures, I'm like, where'd my neck go? Right? Just it's solid, right? I got big legs. I've always had 19-inch calves for the most part. I'm just a big guy, and that's okay. But I look back and I can blame him. and Thomas is the kind of guy that likes to say this. I always like to say, hey, thank you for the success. And he's like, well, wait a second. I didn't do anything. Okay. I didn't do anything, he likes to say. You did it. You're the one that's doing the push-ups. You're the one that's doing the sit-ups. You're the one that's doing the sliders. You're the one who's making the choices on a day-in, day-out basis of what you put into your body, of the alcohol you drink, of the meals you eat. Do you eat a salad or do you get a big T-bone? And at some point, you have to realize the decisions are all up to you. And I'm 100% with them. I'm like, yep, you're right. It's not Thomas doing the 20 push-ups. The 50 push-ups or the 100 push-ups in a day. It's not him doing the squats. It's not him making the decisions to order fish versus a chicken fried steak, right? And so this is the thing I have to talk to you guys about is you are responsible for your success. You're responsible for where you're at today. You're also responsible for where you're going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, or 13 years from now, okay? Hey, everybody, good to see you guys. Hey, Karen. Good to see you as well. Yeah, feel pretty well rested. Gail says this as well. So if I understand correctly, if I blame you for my failures, can I also blame you for my successes too? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Cody Cox, good morning, buddy. Says that is where I am. I blame you for my success. And yes, I'm being a little facetious on this morning, but I got an email from somebody who's talking about the fact that, like, not everybody is like you. Not everybody can jump on camera and do videos. And I laugh. I'm like, yes, you can. You don't have to be me. You're not going to be me. You're not going to be Scott Carson. You're going to be John Doe. You're going to be Cody Cox. You're going to be Gail Villanueva. You're going to be Gail Greenberg. You're going to be the Dan Zatowskis out there. You're going to be the people out there doing your own thing. And what's so beautiful about where we're at in today's society is you can build your own audience. You can build your own niche. You can build your own piece. You can build your own audience and get the own piece of the pie, the little niche, the breadcrumbs out there. There's never been a better time to get this done. And I kind of took things off pace the last 3 weeks. I didn't post a lot of work stuff. All right. Yeah. We had Shannon, our marketing intern, posting the Note Closer Show stuff on infographics and a little bit about previous episodes, getting us caught back up on that. And then the followers on that page are growing. But I put my podcast, I put this in the very capable hands of, 8 people to handle with it. And they had their difficulties, mostly technology. I'm not saying difficulties in content because they all delivered really great content. But it's funny listening to a few of them or watching a few of them as they kind of got better as they did more episodes they did, which is normal. That's going to happen. And they're still going to make mistakes. God knows I made mistakes yesterday on some stuff. I made mistakes today on some things. But the thing I'm trying to get at is you can't be scared of failure. You can't be scared of success. Instead of saying, well, what if this happens? Well, what if this happens? What if it does happen? What if everything you want happens because you took action? You'll never know that unless you actually get off your ass and do something. And you have to quit blaming other people. You have to quit blaming the excuses. Oh, I'm divorced, or I live in a crappy area, or I live, I'm not capable of doing that. I can't raise private capital. Well, whether you think you can or you can't, in the words of Henry Ford, you are correct. All right. Yep, Christina, you're right. That was just so well in the podcast while I was away. That's because I gave them the liberty to fail. I gave them permission to fail. Some of them did really well about, getting everything hooked up with I literally gave them my logins. I gave them my logins to my Zoom account. I gave them my logins to my Facebook account so they could literally connect everything and literally live stream simply. And they struggled a little bit with that. They didn't play around. Some were better at the others. Katie Motown was really good at it. I think Chris Venue was really good at it as well. Eric High was good at it. Everybody struggled a little bit, and that's normal, and that's okay. But they still went out and recorded. Even if they didn't get it properly or it didn't live stream immediately to Facebook, hey, they recorded it. They recorded it, and it'll be on Vimeo, it'll be on iTunes, it'll be on Stitcher. That's fine. I gave them permission to fail. Some people reached out to me, why the heck would you turn over your 10,000 megawatt podcast to 8 hands that aren't experienced as you? I'm like, why not? Give them an opportunity. We all start off inexperienced. 13 years ago, I was the kid, less gray hair, a few pounds lighter, who left the banking industry to work in a mortgage company with a friend of mine to learn real estate investing. And the only thing I knew is that I had failed horribly, so horribly, 3 years prior to that. I graduated in 2001 from college. I was married at the time, married my college sweetheart. A year after that, we bought our first house. And then after that, we got into investment properties and we bombed. And it put us in a pretty good bind financially. Our pristine credit ratings were in the toilet. I could have taken every excuse of why I'd failed to stay at JP Morgan Chase, to stay as a banker, to stay and, continue to run branches, continue to work with the banking industry. They gave me a pretty decent salary. I was making a lot of money in commissions. I was talking about stuff with that last night. She was complaining about going to the bank and just the turnover at banks recently and how the staff seems to have gotten younger and newer at the bank. And I'm like, well, you have to expect that because we bank with Wells Fargo. I was like, Wells Fargo just completely pulled the rug out from all their bankers. Because if you don't know this, personal bankers, when you go into a bank, I'm not talking about the tellers. I'm talking about when you go into the bank to open an account, to talk about it, to do something. Personal bankers get paid off of what they can sell you, right? Banking products they can put you in. There's all a point system. They get a point for you opening a new account and putting so much money in there. Get an account for you to rolling over an IRA or opening a CD. I got paid when every time we get somebody approved for a credit card, we get $25 and approved for a credit card. For loans, we got $1 for every $1,000 in a loan, something like that. Remember correctly. So but then when you see the commercials of Wells Fargo trying to get all this good positive spin, how they're removing sales goals from their bankers, that's not a good thing. That's taking away aggressive. And I'm not saying, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you right now, the stuff they did with all the new accounts, that had to go higher up. It wasn't personal bankers doing a lot of that stuff for the most part. It had to go higher up. Your local banking staff probably wasn't doing that. I'm not 100% for sure, but I guarantee they're out there trying to make things happen. And most of your personal bankers, they have a salary base, somewhere probably mid-30s, early 40s, been on the bank, but they make the bulk of their money on their commissions and their sales because you have sales goals every month. That's the way I was making close to $100,000 because I was making double of what I made in commissions based on what my base salary was. I was good at it. I loved it and stuff like that. But I didn't sit around and blame other people for stuff I didn't make. I took it upon myself to give me the ideas, tell me what I need to do, and I'll go do it, and show me a way, and I'll put that to work and use my sales goals. And I don't see that so much in today's society. Now, I do see that from the people that are successful. People are successful are the ones that are going out there and they're giving it a shot. They're the ones that are making offers. They're the ones that are doing due diligence. They're the ones that are sending emails out to their database. They're doing the marketing. And that's all this business is. That's all life is. It's all about swinging and taking hacks, taking your cut, pulling out your own bat and swinging. Okay. And you don't have to hit it out of the park. If you get a single base hit, you can get a walk sometimes. Hey, you're succeeding. You're playing. You're in the game. You strike out. You learn more about that strikeout, more about yourself, what to swing at, what not to swing at, what to go after. All right. You can't blame the coach for you swinging and missing. You can't blame the coach for you not getting in the game. All right. The thing you have to keep in mind, everybody, is look, this is not whatever you want to accomplish in the next decade. It's possible. It may change a little bit. I know that what I thought I was going to be doing 13 years ago has changed dramatically because the environment, society has changed, marketing has changed, the internet has changed. All right. Cody Cox posted something. He was out in Eastern Oregon or Western Oregon and talking about there's these wheat fields and you can still see the tracks from the Oregon Trail from so many people coming across in the Oregon Trail. And it's just built into the ground. And I started laughing because I remember playing Oregon Trail in high school as one of the first computer games in my 8th grade or 9th grade computer class. The Oregon Trail, died of dysentery, whatever it was, And you have we've come so far from that. The last 20 years, golly, it's been almost 25 years since that. All right. You have to realize life is changing and you have the responsibility to either suck it up, Goldilocks, and go do it, or you just sit there and bitch and complain about everybody else. Bitch about your lack of success. Bitch about, I can't do that. Can't be done. You can't do that. Well, that's great. Okay? Because I guarantee you most of the time, if you take action, what's going to happen is you're going to find an easy button.
That was easy.
Exactly. And most of the time when you do something, you're going to be a little nervous, a little scared, but
that was easy.
You'll find that was easy. All right. Whether it is writing your first email or posting regularly to Facebook. And I crack up sometimes because we have the Note Camp, we have the virtual Note Buying for Dummies workshops, things like that. And we like to try to incentivize people to do things, right? Hey, post, share it, help it spread your audience. And we get such great stories like Scott Yath out of Phoenix posting about Note Camp or something he's focused on, and an investor reached out to him and $200,000 to invest with. Our good buddy Garrison Gilbert out of the Maryland area, actually marketing and starting to talk to people because he's naturally an introverted person, but he started talking to person. He's raising capital at events and raising money on flights from talking with people. And he all blames it on his marketing now. All right. You have to, that's the thing I want you guys to realize, everybody. And I know most of you are, thanks for the thumbs up there, Matthew Hell, I appreciate it, is you hold the key to your success is in your hands. Okay. The key to success is in your hands. You're only accountable to yourself for the most part initially. Now, eventually at some point, hopefully, as you keep doing things, you'll build and grow a tribe. And your tribe is going to be completely different than my tribe. And I was cracking up last night a little bit because I'm watching a replay of Westworld. If you're watching on HBO, talk about crazy tribes in Westworld. That's just the twists and turns that go along with that is crazy. But that's a lot like life. It's a lot like what we're going through today. What we're going through in the last 5 years, the last 10 years. It has gotten so much easier to do things if you just get off your ass and do it and quit blaming people. But if you want to, go ahead, blame me. Blame me for your lack of success. Blame me for the bullshit excuses that you tell yourself. Blame me for the extra weight you put on. Blame me for the fact that you didn't get something done. Blame me that you're broke. Blame me that you are still working at your job. Blame me for all the bullshit excuses you have. That's fine. Go ahead. I don't care. I honestly don't give a rat's ass. All right? You want to blame somebody? Go ahead. That's fine. But you got to be very, before you start pointing the finger at somebody else, you've got to realize there's 4 other fingers pointing back at you. All right? And you're responsible ultimately for where you're at. I'm responsible for where I'm at today. Nobody else is. Okay? Nobody else is. And when you start taking on employees or staff or vendors and things like that, yes, it's easy to say, hey, they're screwing up on this stuff. That's great. But you have the responsibility still to jump in, still to do something, either to hire more people or to change your vendors or to get involved. You can't just turn over your life to somebody else and then bitch about it later on. If you turn your success over to other people, great. You have to accept what you're given. And I know this kind of brings us back to another point. I see a lot of people out there struggling with. People talk about hiring, bringing on staff, bringing on employees. They don't do such a good job. Well, yeah, you've got to give them the opportunity to succeed. You got to give them the opportunity to fail. You have to give them the opportunity to screw up. And the beautiful thing about in this note business is that you don't have to worry about it. People screw up all the time. It's quite all right. And I just want to give shots out to people I see out there. Hey, Mr. Joel Markovitz, miss you, man. Can't wait to talk to you later today. Hope all's well. It's just you have to realize, everybody, you're responsible for your success. You're responsible for your failures. But the only way you get more successful at things is by failing more. I know that's like a -1 plus a -1 equals a +2, right? But that's truly the case. Hey, good morning, Roy Johnson. Good morning, everybody. It's totally the case of it is out there. You can't be the best in your field unless you've gone out and failed more than anybody else in your field. Okay? Hey, Bud Salmon. Good morning. Good to see you, buddy. You can't sit here and blame other people for your lack of success without looking at what you did. I had somebody complain the other day, oh, you spend more time with your fast track students. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I spend more time with my mastermind fast track students? There are people taking action. They've paid for access, but that doesn't mean I'm not talking to people. That's not saying that I don't give what I do on a regular basis. It's not why I'm back at the office yesterday with a podcast at 10 o'clock in the morning when I'm tired or jet lagged, where I'm here this morning for you guys. I know most people watching that, they're like, oh, we love it. I get it. I'm not bitching about you guys. I'm cracking up at how people like to blame others for their lack of success. Okay? And it comes down, if you're not going to take the actions yourselves and you put something in place, hey, you got to live with what they give you. All right? It's either good, the bad, or the ugly. And sometimes, most of the time, it can be pretty good. I know most of the decisions I've made have done pretty well. I mean, we've had our failures on things with deals or hiring decisions or offers we've made on, like, oh, I should probably not have offered that. But you know what? It doesn't stop me from making and taking hacks. So the question I like to ask is, what are you struggling here? What are some of the things that you're struggling with that you're swinging away? Because if you look at the major leagues, whether you're Max Scherzer or you're who's the big hitter these days, Mike Trout with the Angels. Congratulations to Bud Salmon. You closed on 2 assists. Say congratulations to you, buddy. That's awesome. They all, even the professionals, have hitting coaches. They have hitting coaches. They have pitching coaches. They have base running coaches. And they screw up. God, no, look at people like, who are they talking about? I was noticing on ESPN, Gary Sanchez, catcher for the New York Yankees, right? Oh, my gosh, he's in a big slump, and they're going to sit him down for a game or two. They're talking about that. But you also look at, okay, let's flip back and how working through your failures can find success at the back end. Giancarlo Stanton, the big hitter, last year's major league, the most home runs in the major league last year, signed his big deal with the New York Yankees. And you go to New York, you have a you've got a magnifying glass in every action. He started off decent in the first couple games, and he had this big slump, and now he's back to hitting really good, doing really, really well. You look at his the rookie of the year last year, All right, Judge. All right, led the major leagues in strikeouts last year, but he also was pretty close to MVP caliber season 2, and lost to, deservingly so, to Jose Altuve, the Astros. They strike out more than anybody else, but they also hit more than anybody else because they keep at it. They keep swinging at it. They don't strike out and go down and sit down. They don't sit there and just mope. They go out and swing for the fences. And think about how many times that they have swung. How many swings have they taken outside of the big games, outside of doing something big? Okay? On a regular basis, they strike out. On a regular basis, they're swinging. And yes, I wish I could play in the major leagues. I love baseball, okay? The thing you have to keep in mind is they're failing every day. Every day they show up the park to fail. They go 1 for 3. Yay, it's pretty decent, okay? Steph has a good quote here. Blaming others is like dying on your knees. I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees. Okay, that's great. Awesome. Gail says, can't imagine anyone blaming you for not caring about the success of those, but they are sincere about succeeding. Those, with the success of those that are sincere about succeeding. I care about everybody else. And it is what it is. You know what? As I've always said, if anybody ever wants to spend some time with me, a little bit of one-on-one, all I do is, hey, pick up the phone, shoot me an email. We'll schedule a quick little phone call with you. We'll schedule some time one-on-one. Bud Salmon says, on you're struggling with time blocking. It's vital for success. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Somebody asked me the other day, too, to spend a little more time on time blocking. We'll go through a little bit more of this on one of our most recent, probably our Note Night in America this next week. We'll go through that on Monday night. But time blocking is one of the things that everybody struggles with, and it's one thing that you're going to fail at on a regular basis, okay? I sucked initially at when I became an entrepreneur, when I didn't have a boss to look over my shoulder full time or specific things I had to do. When I had to figure out myself, I sucked at it, okay? Totally sucked at it. And for those of you that are juggling two things, a job and doing notes in the part-time, it's going to struggle and you're going to have to embrace the suck. I mean, if you've only got 10 hours a week to work in your note business, you've only got 10 hours a week. You got to take advantage of that. Now, are you going to work all 10 hours a week or I can work 20 hours a week? Yeah, but you're probably not going to do that. Why? Because you're going to be worn out from work or you've got family commitments or other things you've got going on. And that's okay. So what you have to do is you can't blame yourself when you don't do anything. I mean, you can, but you have to realize, hey, if you screwed up this week, then double your efforts the following week. What do I mean by that? Well, if you didn't get a chance to make any offers this week or look at any tapes or send out any emails this week, make it a priority to go ahead and do that next week. Go ahead and set the time to do that. One of the best guys that is doing a great job with that is Cody Cox. All right. Every Sunday night, he sends out an email, and he's been doing that for over a year now, and it works on a successful basis. He also wanted to market a little bit more, do some more videos, so he started his Friday stroll, just talking about what's on his mind when he's walking out. And so the thing you have to keep in mind is Cody's got that type of success where he's at 50-plus deals and stuff like that. Chris Savigny's also done a really good job in the last 12 months, is you just have to work in 2-hour batches, 2-hour peaks. All right. Or a 2-hour sprints is what I say. Okay. You can't work 40 hours straight. All right. But if you work for an hour or 2 hours, you're just getting something done. Something done is better than nothing at all. Okay. Because success over 10 years is made up of a lot of little steps. Okay. If you want to get to where you're at tomorrow, even if you get a drop in the bucket is better than not doing anything at all and just saying, oh, I can't make it. Yeah. If you were to drop, imagine this being a big bucket. If you were to drop one drop at a time, it wouldn't make a lot of impact immediately. But if you know what, you drop 7 days, you look down, oh, there's a small little puddle. Another week goes by, it's a little bigger puddle. A month goes by, oh, it's a little bit of bond on the bottom. 90 days goes by, oh, it's getting a little bit bigger. Eventually, at some point, you're going to start filling up that bucket to get close to where you need to be. Now, ultimately, how big is that bucket? I don't know. Your bucket is your bucket. whether you need an amount saved or amount coming in residually to leave your job. The whole point of the matter is you've got to have some specific goals that you want to get, and then work those goals backwards to debuild them, deconstruct them, or break those goals down to the base nuts and bolts of what your weekly or daily activities need to be, and figure out how long that takes just to get done. Now, you have to look at what time you have available. As Gary Vaynerchuk, our boy, Gary V, always likes to say, everybody has, usually if you're working a traditional job, 9 to 5, your side hustle, everybody's got from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. to get things done. And it is. You all do that. If you want to get something done, you have to work on the side hustle. And obviously, all the success stories you've heard of, the Damon Johns who used to work at Red Lobster, waiting tables at Red Lobsters and going home at night to work on FUBU. And now they sold everything in their house, were basically sleeping on the floor to finish FUBU. That happened. Success was an overnight success that took him 15 years or 8 years to get done. Okay. It is important. Bud 7, thanks for watching Instagram there. You're right. Fail daily, improve tomorrow. Each day will get better. You will have success. Success may be 5%, maybe 1%, but still 1%. All right. If you look back now, 90 days, if you were to give yourself a big 90-day push, okay, and habits are built over 66 days, not 21 days, okay? Good habits are built over 66 days, not 21 days. If you were to give yourself a push from now through the next 66 days and did something just a little bit each day, making offers, sending emails, posting to social media, networking, and you look back and you had yourselves a big push, I guarantee you'll be in a different spot. Be a different spot than where you are now. Now, that's not ultimately, I got to work 66 days and I'm going to find ultimate success. No. This business takes a while to find success. I'm where I'm at today because of what I've done over the last 13 years. Now, it's a lot easier for people than it was 13 years ago with the market, but you only have yourself to blame if you don't do those things. Yes, if you'd rather spend time watching TV, that's fine. Just know that if you have put in the work, hey, great, take the time to go to a movie, take the time to watch TV, take the time to unwind and use it to think. That's great. But if you're not doing the things you need to do, not making the offers, you're not doing the emails, not doing the marketing, not setting up the systems in place, then you'll have yourself to blame. You can take time off. You can work hard and then take time off, because a lot of time that momentum you built up over that 60 days, the 90 days, the 1 year, the 3 years, the 13 years, you'll have the availability to walk away for a while, for a week, 2 days, a week, 3 weeks, a month, or 3 months, whatever, to do what you need to do to make things are going on. And I talked a little bit briefly yesterday about our buddy Wayne Snell walking through the Alps and stuff like that. And he's having just a great time. It's so great to see that and see him refreshed doing some stuff out there. He's earned that because he's worked so hard over the last couple of years. He worked so hard for years before that to get to the point where he needed to be, because he celebrated his 2-year jobless date. But for the previous 2 years or 3 years before that, Wayne worked his ass off. We had phone calls, we had conversations, him working 60 hours a week, traveling internationally, but still working on getting things done in his free time to have the type of success that he wanted to have. So now he's looking back now the last 5 years. I guarantee Wayne is a totally different guy than he was 5 years ago. All right. He's gone through some trials and tribulations, gone through divorce, and had some deals go south, but he's doing so awesome and in a much better place than he was before. Gabe Cass out of Huntington Beach, California, has been, I think, almost 3 years now. 3 years, close to it, if not 2 years at least, full-time in the business, and left his job as a financial analyst, if I remember correctly, where he hated it. He was doing a lot of stuff, and he was not a happy guy. But if you look at Gabe now, very happy guy, because he put a lot of work into getting things done, and now he calls his own shot. He surfs every day and loves life, buys first, buys seconds, and just does a great job living the life that he wants. So putting the work in daily is important. Our buddy Elijah White's out there just celebrated. Something popped up, I think, on Google or Plus, where he has over 10 million photos online. 10 million photos online. And he does take a lot of photos. That's one of his big things. He's a Google Preferred Partner. Just absolutely just a great guy. We're excited to hang out with him and Christy here in 2 weeks for the National Social Media Day on June 30th. But Elijah's gotten to the point where he's at view. I don't know what view he says there, of just posting on a regular basis, taking those shots, taking those photos, and then uploading them. Photo views, my apology, 10 million photo views, maybe not 10 million photos. Okay, but that's still impressive. 10 million views on your photos. That's even better. Woo! 10 million views on your photos is even better than uploading 10 million photos because you've got views. You're out there. I don't know how many photos you've uploaded, but yeah, you've taken a lot, 10 million. 10 million views. Wow. And that's just impressive, my good friend. That's just so impressive to see that kind of work. It doesn't, photography is a passion of his, and yes, it's definitely good. It's impressive. We're excited for him. We're proud of him, and we didn't have anything to do with it. He can't blame me for his success or failure because we haven't done anything. But Elijah, if you ever want to blame me for your failures, go right ahead. Blame me. So, the ultimate thing I want you to do today, guys, if you're listening out there on iTunes and Stitcher, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching this on Instagram, on the replay, if you're watching this on Facebook, watching this as a replay on Vimeo or YouTube, we're all struggling with things. One probably more than the others. And if you're avoiding what you're struggling with, stop. Take some time today to figure out what's one thing that you need to do to get better at what you're struggling with. If you're struggling with making offers, then you know what you need to do. You need to go make some offers. If you're struggling with underwriting or due diligence, you know what you need to do. You need to go spend some time on doing due diligence. If you're struggling with marketing, hey, go out and post some photos. Go out and figure out what you like, what draws your eyes, and replicate that. If you're struggling with sending an email out, oh my God, I'm going to mess up. You know what? Go write an email, send it out. Because the more often you do something, the better you're going to get at it. And eventually, at some point, your weaknesses can be your strengths. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to focus on my weaknesses. I want to focus on my strengths. That's great. Figure out what your weakness is and then outsource it. Figure out somebody to delegate it to. Figure out how to write that out of your schedule to put it on somebody else's schedule who's better at what it is. It's going to cost you money and go from there. So, but today's story is about the blame game. And honestly, you all have nobody to blame except yourself. Just like I say, I am responsible for where I'm at today based on the decisions that I have made or not made to get me where I'm at today. Ultimately, I'm responsible for every bit of success. I'm responsible for every bit of failure. The buck stops with me. All right. So, guys and gals, that's one of the best ways I can tell you if you're looking to get and find success is you have to be accountable to yourself, to your actions or lack of actions, or your decisions or bad decisions or lack of decisions. One of the worst things I hate seeing people do is failing to make a decision when it comes to something. Well, I don't know. I can't make the decision. Well, yeah, you can. If you don't make that decision, somebody else will make it for you. So go out, get things done, make some decisions, tackle what you're struggling with, and I guarantee tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, 6 months or a year from now, if you keep tackling what you're struggling with and look back, you won't be struggling with it anymore. And you'll be that much closer on your way to the top. So have a great day, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you do, make sure to go ahead and share it. Share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it, star it, share it on iTunes, Stitcher. Love your reviews, guys. If you're watching this, please leave a review. One of the great things that we love to see is feedback. If you like to see us discuss specific things, let us know. We'll see if we can't make it an episode at some point. Go for it. So otherwise, go out, have a great day, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.